Before I button this thing all up, I will show you how I did the steering. This other top part of the chassis will go on there, and that's what holds the suspension. So one thing I did, these springs were really tall and it was so stiff it could hardly move. So I took a side cutters and I cut a few times, kept testing it until I got it dropped down a little bit, and then it is a lot softer now. So I cut the springs. This used to be the toy grade steering actuator with a little motor, you know, it's all the way right or all the way left. So I have a little mini servo, and I just used some packing foam because I had to raise it up, and then it's held into place with automotive gasket maker. And really simple, just the horn on the servo just sticks up through this. So I didn't have to glue anything together because it was just this little guy is what did it before, and now the servo horn. So yeah, real simple 3-wire servo, 30 amp ESC, and then a little hobby grade, 3-wire receiver, and then a 2S lipo. And this used to have a 6-volt battery pack that was just NiCad, and now we've got 7.4, so it definitely makes it faster. And I can just steer it a little bit because that upper chassis isn't holding everything in place, but you can just see a little bit right, a little bit left, all proportional. And then the speed, it's now proportional. Before it would have just went all or nothing. So it's going to be pretty fast now, using the same motor, same gearbox, but just a better proportional speed controller, a better receiver, and a better radio. So now it can go, a quarter mile down the road and it's not going to lose range, because this did not come with a remote. And then I just wanted it to be nicer. So that's the inside look of everything. And then I'll get it all, where it's got to be and put together, and we'll do some run video. Hey, almost done. There's the upper part of the chassis put on. Here's the steering, and you can go just real little bit or a lot, all proportional. And like I said, real easy, just the little horn fits in there nice. And then now we have super soft suspension. I just touched the front, it's just kind of floating. So before it was stiff as a board, it didn't even move. And then the rear shocks were broke. So a WL Toys 112 shock, I just did one and almost lay down, and lots of suspension travel. I had shorter WL shocks, but they were stiff again. And then the motor's in the way, so you can't lay the other one down. So it's just a monoshock. But I learned from my old Tamiyas. Here's the first Grasshopper, and I just run one spring on it. It still has the other shock, but these never even worked. They would bounce hard as could be. Well, a couple generations later, this is a rookie Rabbit, they did almost lay down shocks, and really makes a difference. This thing floats across the grass real good because they're long shocks, and then they push at an angle. So I did the same thing here. I didn't have shocks to fit, from there to there. So I just did a long one, drilled a hole, a bolt, and a nut, and super soft in the back with lots of suspension. And now the front's soft. You can see, just set it down, it actually sags a little bit. So I watched videos of when these were new, and the suspension didn't work. They just bounced on everything. You could see it didn't even flex. So yeah, we got that all good. We got nice proportional throttle, just a little bit in reverse, and we got our forward, and it's actually pretty fast. So next up, we'll do run videos, some donuts on the floor in here, and then we'll go outside and do some run videos. I won't jump it real hard or anything because the plastic is brittle. Like when I was taking the remains of the shocks off, they just snapped in my hands. And when I did some trimming, the plastic's really hard and brittle. It just would snap right off. There's no flex to this thing. So maybe just because of its age, or maybe the plastics were pretty cheap or something. So I'm not going to bash it hard ever. It's just I wanted to get it going and have it better than before, but then just kind of take it easy with it. The wheels, all the chrome had come off, so I sanded them, and then that's metallic silver spray paint. And then I did the same thing with the windows, that they were silver, but painted on the outside, they got all scratched up. So I masked them off and sprayed them with the same, just hardware store, spray can, but with a little sandpaper first to make it stick. So here we go.